All right, we're on a hill, and Sage is gonna miss us.
Like, even if we're not at the same school?
Yeah, together wherever, right?
With the internet, that's easier than ever. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't get rid of us that easy.
I'll have you guys over all the time to try my weird food experiments.
That's not how you're gonna graduate, buddy.
I applied to like 300 culinary programs, but
Why are there 300?
I don't know. The more real it gets, the more it's like... Ugh.
No, you see, nothing's set in stone, dude. It isn't real till it's real.
I mean...
Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? He's the guy who's most worried about the asteroid business, and that hasn't even happened yet. Reed, you little stinker. You're not slipping that past me.
I guess, but I'm pretty sure cooking is it for me. This feels like make or break.
If you're gonna italicize and put emphasis on it, you can't say cooking is it for me. You have to say cooking is it. You have to emphasize the line. It's kind of there, but like, Higher grades are more so for showing that you went to a school that was corporate owned and getting funded by high grades. Oh, that's so depressing, but true. And I know about that one. Totally.
I get it. There are hobbies and, like, careers, and then there are things that almost consume you.
Yeah, you should know.
If anyone's consuming anything here, it's me and all 5,000 of Sage's
Yeah!
cookies.
No, like when you do it, you get lost in the moment, you know? All that exists is you and...
If Fang, okay, the game gets a whole point. It gets a whole sugary cookie point if it brings up the flow state that was brought up by Naomi earlier. This is the perfect time to have Fang say that and either omit Naomi and take it for herself and show themselves and show like an arrogant side, an egotistical side, or mention Naomi and like be like, "Oh, Naomi said it," and then they're all like, "Oh, gushy about it." You know, this is a great time to set up that they're thinking about it. Do it, game. Come on, do it.
what
It's
you're
so
doing,
easy.
What you're making. There's no future. to
Flow
worry
state from
about,
Naomi.
only the
Flow state from
craft.
Naomi.
But thinking about making it your life is scary. The stakes are higher.
No. For one, I think that it makes sense that Fang would be the one to bring up the whole concept of like turning your hobby into a profession is a different thing. I have a serious issue with that since Fang doesn't seem to give a shit. Like Fang just wants to do this, right? So Fang is worried but fearless. It's just conflicting vibes from like a superficial level. What's this? I don't know.
Oh, that's exactly it. I knew you'd get it.
But also, they didn't bring up Naomi. Perfect time to bring up Naomi and show that Fang is thinking about Naomi. Ah.
Anyway, I'm not...
If you had an internal monologue, perfect time to put a little line of like, "Oh, I should have mentioned something." I don't know. Like Naomi was, come on, it's the obvious easy writing to connect the goddamn scenes.
not really worried about which place I go to. Doesn't matter where I do it as long as I get to do it, you know? I just want to be able to do it.
Do it.
I mean, first of all, you're gonna be amazing. And you know your girl is always ready to taste test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Trish is ready to taste test. There's nothing left for you, Stella.
Hey, but you actually have to tell me if something sucks, though.
Babe, I always tell you the truth. It's not my fault you're a literal culinary superstar.
Can I just say this? I feel like okay, listen. I feel like Sage is the kind of person to lay back in the grass with the hands under his head as he's looking at the sky, just like Reed. I just feel like if you're gonna wear dungarees, you gotta lay on your back in the grass on the hill when you're having a chat with your friends.
Plus, I'll have nothing but time.
But they can't do it because the rigging sucks for it.
Yeah? What are you doing next year?
I think I'm gonna take a year or two to feel things out, see what vibes. I'm trying not to put anything into a box just yet.
That's pretty cool, actually. I don't get why everyone is so obsessed with college.
You get it? They're hinting that the church is worried about college. Like, I get it, but you here. Let me pull up something in movies. Something in movies. Camera, switch, effect, Wikipedia. There's this fun thing in movies. There's this fun cinematographic technique. I'm going to tell you all about it, buddy. Where am I going to find this? I want to find it because this is extremely important. Can I find it, though? So there's this concept in cinematography. where if you look at, okay, it's not a dolly zoom wiki. It's when you transition between subjects. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Let's say that we're talking about like I like fruits. I like fruits a lot. You know, fruits. Which is my favorite fruit? And they just zoom the camera over to like an apple, and I'm like, I won't tell. And the viewer is like, oh, I know. The camera was us looking at the apple. So in the scene, just put the camera on Trish. Don't have Trish be a little whiny baby. The viewer can interpret via the transition, the meaning of the sentence, that something is being said about Trish on a metacontextual level. Subtlety. Subtlety. Instead of Trish suddenly going ball-eyed. Oh. Like, I get it. But writing and cinematography are not the same thing, you dumb... You have to do both if you want to do it like this. What is it called, though? I want to know what it's called. Name for the thing where switching cameras produces meaning. Oh my god. No, it's not that. I don't want to learn what camera obscure. I want to learn what it's called. It has a name. It's an effect where you cut between subjects and it creates meaning. I'm finding this. We're not going anywhere until I find this, because this is important. What is it called again? Here we go. The caveman. Let me just read this. The caveman on stream where they mentioned the Snoot game is full of learning about music theory, and Goodbye Volcano High doesn't bother. Even a busker knows. Listen, some musicians are like, you don't have to learn how to read sheet music. Like, don't bother. And I agree that sheet music it's a way to do it, but it's not necessary. Look, it has a name. The effect, I think it's called. Someone help me out here. Here, I found it! Yes, the Kuleshov effect. It's called the Kuleshov effect. The Kuleshov effect in film editing effect demonstrated by Russian filmmaker Lev Kuleshov in the 1910s to 1920s. I'm on Wikipedia, by the way. I'm a professional YouTuber. I quote Wikipedia. It is a mental phenomenon by which viewers derive more meaning from an interaction between sequential shots than from a single shot in isolation. You talk about how people worry about college. You put the camera on Trish. It doesn't fucking matter what Trish does because the viewer is Kuleshoving the situation. Oh, goddamn game! Have some cinematographic insight. Oh, this is the part where I'm gonna get out the. It's not even on the page I was looking at. Anyway, you learn about the Kuleshov effect with your boy Sapphic Crook coming. Man, if I ever show up on camera or if a VTuber rig, we gotta get one that's in like a hoodie and like a backwards cap that's specifically and exclusively for me doing bullshit like that.
I have literal nightmares about it.
Okay, that's fine, but still.
Oh, I'm definitely
Kuleshov.
going someday. I just feel
Show some art, show some cinematographic insights and intelligence.
like why not have some fun too?
I can get behind that.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about next year, actually.
Why? You're not planning anything.
Not the word I'd use.
You don't think about what you'll be doing?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I guess...
I would have preferred if you have, like, depending on Reed's characteristics, I don't know what they're like. If Reed is that chill and laid back, and he's actually trying to pretend, if he's pretending to be chill, you have him joke about it. I'm like, I think I might, vegetate, turn to mulch, freeze to death under the cold nuclear sky. And if that's not happening, I'll do some writing class. That's him trying to play cool. If I'm around, feels a bit too subtle.
If I'm around, I'll take a creative writing or game design class, maybe.
You'd be so great at either one.
Yeah, you already totally have the writing thing down. Like, you and LNL, I don't know how you do it.
May I point out that the LNL session has had some pretty bad writing? Like, not necessarily from, like, what KOOP is produced. Not necessarily the writing from a meta perspective. But, like, Reed's scene sucks. That was a bad dungeon and a bad boss fight. That wasn't great. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good.
Thanks. Weird how it kind of became my life.
How, did it? Did it though? Did it become his life? Because you got a whole band thing going on. I don't know if you're paying attention, Reed, but you're in like a band, and the band's going places. I don't know. You're also talking about being delivery guy. Like I don't know, Reed. Sounds to me like it's not quite your life yet. Like you're not quite Matt Colville, are you?
Great, great. So everyone has it all figured out.
You must have some ideas. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I've just spent all this time on like bug camp and soft circuits and welding and whatever, and I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I mean, Trish is going to be the person. There's like a job opening, and it's like, why do we need this weird specific person? And it's like, Trish, you're perfect. Trust me. That's how it goes with people like this. They just magically fall into this esoteric requirements hole.
That just means you can do anything. Seriously, you're like one of the smartest people.
What has Trish done so far that has made Trish look exceptionally smart? If anything, because Trish keeps sliding out of scenes, they look like they're unwilling to engage in social situations. Like, show, don't tell. Just have a scene in math class where Trish does a smart thing. Have Trish in bug class say a smart. Like, I know Trish has recited bug facts, but reciting bug facts isn't smart. That's knowing bug facts. Oh, great. Oh, great. Now my wire fell out. That's great. Like, being smart is not reciting facts. Being smart is solving a problem. Oh my god! OBS, shut up! What is up with my thing? We good?
It's true.
You're scary smart. You're always busy.
I barely see you with all the stuff you're up to.
But actually, I mean, what takes up most of your brain space right now? What about... You and Rosa are always talking about your worm. Mango?
My baby.
So why not, like, worm science?
Entomology?
See?
Bugs are kind of your thing. That time we tried to do ASMR.
I'd like to point out, Trish's room is full of bugs, like I mentioned. If the few rare scenes and pictures and things that take place in Trish's room is full of bug cages and terraria. Why the fuck didn't we see that before the scene? So that we can go like, hey, you know, we saw all those bugs in Trish's room. Maybe Trish likes bugs. We didn't get that. It's so easy. You have the backgrounds. Why didn't we see it? You can literally just have Trish taking a picture of herself in front of all the cages with Mango in the background. That's all you need if you want to go lazy. And they didn't even do that. Instead, they're like, hey, you like bugs, right? Because of your Mango. That's like saying, you know, you like dogs, right? Because you got a dog. And it's like, that's tier 1. That's tier 1. That's not a job yet. You got to be in tier 2, tier 3. Yeah, I don't know what to think about Stella. Why is she leading this conversation?
You whispered about molting cycles for like half an hour.
I don't know, guys.
Why didn't Trish tell us about molting cycles for half an hour? I would love to hear that.
If I change my mind in a year? What if I suck at it?
You don't have to go if you don't want to.
Right, you're not going at all. That's even scarier, honestly. Oh, but you'll be great. Music is like...
Just like compositionally, there's something about the scene that bothers me. One, he's in the dead center. Rules of 3 and everything. I don't know if you should have the character like in the dead center like that. It feels a bit weird. But the bigger problem I have is he's in the dead center, and there's nothing else around him. It's just background space, and it's just a horizon shot. It is so empty. Holy crap.
a sure thing for you.
It has to be.
I mean, it kinda has to be. I've never seen a future without worm drama.
Yeah,
I mean,
emotional
if we're
pressure.
lucky, things will take off after Caldera Fest. But who knows?
But weren't they planning to go on a summer tour? Is that before or after Kadera Fest? I feel the timeline there is important. Like, are they going on tour before or after? Because if they're going after, then the tour is going to happen regardless. And, like, you can make your fan... Like, I don't know. This is not me digging at him. This is more like, would have been nice to know.
They will. I can feel it. And we're gonna be there to cheer you on.
And glitch out, apparently.
I hope so.
Why isn't Rosa in that scene? Rosa is in like a lot of these scenes, but not that one for some reason. Like, wasn't half of the point that that Fang is worried that Rosa keeps showing up? Like, you can have a throwaway, have a throwaway line. Just have a throwaway line where Fang goes, where hell, maybe Reed did it. Like, someone made sure that Rosa didn't show up. Maybe Trish says that Rosa didn't want to show up because it felt like too many people at once, you know? Didn't want to meet everyone at once or something like that. Just a nice simple line. Because the whole Trish and Rosa thing is one of the big conflicts. Why aren't they there? And also, Rosa could help inform the scene because Rosa and Trish are hanging out a lot. Shouldn't Rosa have input on Trish's situation? It just feels like you could do a bit more and build some friction. I don't know. You're kind of missing out on things. I think the fact... you know what I really like about Snook Game? One scene. I really like when he slams Anon into the locker, and it just occupies one side of the screen, so that when he swings back and goes back again, it has a little extra oomph to it. Because you feel that lopsidedness suddenly get reverted and then snap back like a rubber band. But yeah, the cinematography is way better, which says a lot, given so little happens. But it's also easier to get it right when you have so little to do, you know? It's a bus stop.
Hey, Fang! Wait up, wait up!
Hey, what's up?
Just have him pant through the lines. You can have an ambient track that's just him. Here's how I do it, right? You cut the sentence, you taper it off so that you don't hear the weirdness, and then you play an ambient track where he's just panting for a bit, and it feels a bit more organic. It's got a bit more flow to it. Feels like people are allowed to talk over each other.
Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for earlier. When we were hanging out with everyone and like...
Why is his
talking
eye
about
drooping?
the future and our plans and stuff, I really appreciated what you said.
Oh, I mean, it's no big deal. You don't need to thank
Also, I'm reminded once more that the camera is never stationary and it's always slightly moving, as if handheld.
me for it. I just kind of word vomited all over the place.
KOOP couldn't even afford a steady dolly for their cameras in the video game. How poor do you have to be to sink that low?
No, it was cool. I really needed to hear it.
You did?
Yeah, it felt good to have someone, like, get it. I mean, love my family, love my friends. Sometimes it feels like no one takes me seriously. I know, I don't make it easy for them.
Well, okay, listen, this is a perfectly fine thing to do with Sage as a character. This is coming out of nowhere, and it feels like it should have had some build-up. Like, it doesn't... I don't feel like Sage is being dismissed. So why is he so... Like, am I supposed to be... Like, you can have your viewer be ignorant about a consequence or series of actions to ham up the idea that no one's taking it serious, but it just feels weird that suddenly we're having this heart-to-heart over something I didn't even know existed until 5 seconds ago.
I can't help it, though. I can't deal with people being uncomfortable around me. I have to make them feel at ease.
I get that. Anything that makes it easier for them to just deal, right?
Right. When I told my family I wanted to transition, they took it hard. They were accepting, but super uncomfortable.
Yeah, same. Except I don't even know if accepting is the right word for it.
You know what you could have done? You know what you could have done to make this work? You have Fang's mom text Fang with the dead name. It's so easy. Like, we forgot about this, right? I completely forgot that this whole thing was a problem. This is not how you reintroduce the subject. I'm not primed for this conversation. I'm like, what? What? I should be, oh, yeah. Again, also, a lot of normies don't know how bad this is. You should probably emphasize the point for the normies. And they're kind of doing it, but come on. Lay the groundwork first, then do the dramatics.
Feels more like playing dumb.
All I could think to do about it was make them laugh. Even if it was at my own expense. At least I'd be laughing with them, right? But I feel like I kind of dug my own grave. Instead of being, I don't know, hateful about gender stuff, they're dismissive instead. And it feels like that carried over to, like, everything else about me. Like me wanting to be a chef. Everything about me feels like a joke to them. And transitioning is hard enough for them to wrap their heads around, but it doesn't help that I dress like this. It's way easier to be feminine now that it's not expected of me, you know? Now that it's a choice for me instead of an obligation, but to them I'm like, I don't even know, playing dress up like a kid. They laugh and compliment me, but they don't expect anything from me anymore.
My parents barely remember to use the right name for me, much less pronouns. Maybe it would be easier if I, like, I don't know, presented more mask. But that's not really what I want.
Exactly.
And, like, they're cool about the music stuff, but they definitely don't think it's a career for me. They know I'm good, but they don't, like, see a future in it. I feel like half the time my family just thinks I'm confused and they're waiting for me to settle on something normal or whatever.
Oh my god, same.
Dude, fuck that. We don't owe them normal.
I want to point out, that's a good scene. I really like that scene. I love the voice direction. It worked so good. That felt like the actors knew what they were saying and they let it out of their little baby hearts. That was a good scene. Why the fuck was there no setup for it? This is such a good scene. It is such a good moment. The acting is good. It works. You feel that sadness. But we don't know shit about Sage. We haven't even seen Fang's parents. Why, for fuck's sake, are you doing this without the setup? It's such a good scene. Wasted because I don't feel it yet. I don't know it yet. At most, there's one fucking post-it. And some hints from Nasser. Oh, God, it's such a waste. It's such a waste. Like, the voice actors are great, but this was fantastic. And nothing sets it up. Suddenly, he's trans, I guess, and he's having a bad time with it, I guess. If we didn't have Fang as a POV character, or hell, if we did, like, it's just okay. Let me bring up one more point. This is important. They specifically mentioned, as far as I know, that they didn't want the parents to be too involved in this. Why? You're making the parents involved, you dumb idiots. You can't say, well, we don't want the parents involved, we want to focus on the teens. And then have the story be about two characters who are struggling with their parental relationship. And more importantly, I forgot it. Fuck, that's important. And I forgot it. There's one more thing about this that bothered me. But what was it? It was important. I forgot it. Sorry. The music is good. That whole thing is... Okay, here it is. I remembered. If you pay attention to Goodbye Volcano High and the characters, specifically the little, like, you get the cursor and you get to hover over characters, there are a lot of people in this who are transitioning, who are they, them, etc. I can understand that Fang's parents are from another place where maybe it's less common to come out, but if Sage, who clearly feels more local, has the same issue, what? It's imply that being LGBT open is more common in this world than ours, at least to such an extent that something here feels broken and busted. Like what the implications of the text is of showing all these they-them characters, these mask-presenting ladies and everything, and then talk like we're dealing with 2010 America LGBT environment. It doesn't work. There's no setup for it. You need more. You need to have Fang's parents say it and make it so that the normies get it. To establish that sense of like, this is wrong and this is hurting Fang and this is making Fang feel sad. Instead, it feels like Fang just doesn't care and is like, fuck the parents. But if Fang says fuck the parents, why don't we just fuck the parents and leave it? You have to show Fang cares about the opinion of their parents and that they care about it and they want to heal and mend it. And then we're so sad that they can't mend it, that there is this fracture. And then when Fang says, fuck them, to Sage, we're like, no, Fang, no, we won't know you want to. Like, there's none of that. There's none of that. There's nothing. I've said it 1,000 times, and I will say it 1,000 more. If you take Snoot Game Fang and you make it so that Trish wants Fang to be straight, and Fang wants to be non-binary, whatever, you have a perfect coming out story about accepting and supporting someone. Anon's not the character for that, but you could make him into one to show, like, be who you want to be. Don't give a shit. Like, Anon's a big piece of shit. Why don't you be yourself? I don't know. Like, Snoot Game does a better job at telling you how to be yourself in the face of parents telling you what to be, because the parents are fucking there. I don't know. Like, it just feels like this could have been a great scene. This could have been a fantastic Act 2 scene to establish that Fang has to do something. You know, this is the scene that establishes the climax for Act 3, where Fang has to really put their shoulders into it and make it work. But nothing. There's nothing. I'm sad. I'm upset that this magnificent scene has gone to waste. God damn it, KOOP. You had it. It was in the palm of your hand. And it fluttered away like a butterfly into the ether, forever gone. You absolute clowns. What picture did we get? That's a good picture. But you could tell that the rigs are really what makes this. We don't owe them normal. Could have been a punchy line. That could have been the fucking motto of your game. Could have been a lot of stuff. But instead it's hidden on a picture, in a scene that's not in the right place, that doesn't have the right writing surrounding it, that doesn't do anything with its core concept. And I'm just angry. I'm very angry. I need a drink. And I need like some painkillers because my head's hurting from how angry this makes me. Listen. I care about this stuff. I care about it a lot. I say this a lot, by the way. I fucking hate that Christians can't write good Christian stories. That they always go for the low, garbage, self-affirming cheap shots instead of the good story that examines it, that affirms it, that takes Christianity and puts it to the test so that when you come out, you feel more Christian. But instead they go for the cheap shots where, yes, God is real and everything. Fuck you. Write a story that forces you to think about stuff and makes you feel better. For real. You fucking losers. This is the same. LGBT people deserve better writing. They deserve a good story that makes them feel something, that sets up these events. And when the normies get there, the normies are like, you know what? I didn't get what it was like to be trans, to be gay, to have to deal with my fucking parents. But thanks to this story, I do. This doesn't fucking do any of that. Fuck you, Okoye OP. You could have made this that story. You don't deserve those prizes. Because you didn't write the story that could deserve them in the first place. If this is the best you've got, if this is the best the LGBT can produce, with all their talk about the right has no culture, then fuck you. You don't have anyone either. There are smaller voices out there. I know it. I know there are smaller people who are writing about this, who are writing fantastic stories. And they deserve those fucking prizes you took, KOOP. You don't deserve them. They do. You're Jane Somerton, taking the spotlight off the people who write the good stories. Goddamn. Oh, so angry. This shit just annoys me so much. Surge the Durg. Let's see what you have to say so that we can end this recording file and go to the next one. So basically, the scene feels like it was from a different game where there was actually more characterization than just, I'm one character and I only have one issue and that's what I am. Yeah. If a good story takes takes Sage, the baking, the trans stuff, merges them together in several scenes, and then it flows outwards. And the baking has a metaphor. Dawn Chorus. I'm going to look at Dawn Chorus, and I'm going to tell you, if Dawn Chorus is better at a first blush, then I'm already upset. I can't find Dawn Chorus on Steam, so it's probably somewhere else. I can't find it. It's giving me random garbage. That's great. Oh well. Well, Dawn Chorus apparently is better with non-binary and trans characters, and if it is, good. They deserve it. They deserve something that had more than 1 or 2 drafts. Of course it is not suitable for work themes. Listen, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but the LGBT is tied to sex. That's why it's called homosexuality, you dumb fucks. Well, we're not tied to sex. Yeah, you are. You can pretend you're not, but straightness, marriage, honeymoons, they're tied to it. You can pretend it's not, but it is. You need to address that. You need to talk about why it's okay for straight people to be fucking sexy about stuff, but you can't. God damn it. Ah! Ah! Yeah, it's so fucking lame that in Christian stories, the bad guys get all the cool powers. And the good guys is like, my good power is that I'm a good Christian who submits to the capitalist system, thank you. You know, Jesus was a capitalist. He was very wealthy. And he always trickled down his wealth. Jesus Christ, known millionaire. I'm so angry. Ugh. I need to cool down. Like, I would have been less angry if the scene was worse, because then it's like a bad scene and I could have lived with it, but it's a good scene. It's so good. But it doesn't make the payoff. It's a beautiful home run, but we're playing hockey. God, it's just so inky. I need like a cool down before we go to the next part, because I just can't. Ugh.